246 on this cut, and we are so close to being out of 220. So we're 220 pounds, and we're almost there. We're almost out of 220s. Probably should be doing a refeed day probably coming up, but I don't know. I kind of want to save it for when I get out of 220s first. Then maybe have a refeed day, but everything's going pretty well. So you just gotta stay consistent, stay in a calorie deficit for consistently long enough. Make sure you're properly tracking, weighing out your food, just all that above, and eventually starts coming off. Do your cardio. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to do much cardio because I'm recovering from the bronchitis and the walking pneumonia and everything, but we're still lifting. So we'll go in there, like today's leg day, so we're just gonna do probably 6 sets of leg extensions, 6 sets of leg curls, and call it, just because I just got to get back to resting as much as I can and just try to sleep as much as I can. Sleep is probably the most important thing, and I haven't been sleeping very well, so that's a big issue. But not much else to it. Let's just get in there and get started with leg curls or leg extensions. Maybe I don't know if I'm going to do any leg pressing. I was kind of thinking about it, but I was like, maybe it'd be good to hold off leg pressing on this one. I don't want to get into like deep breathing. It's just my lung just hurts really bad, so it's like I don't want to do anything where I'm going to have to do any heavy breathing. It sucks. Part of your training is getting sick, getting injured, getting things that are going to be in the way of your training and your goals, and you just got to work through it and work around the injury or work around the sickness. If you're sick and you're in a deficit, you can just make sure that you just stay in that deficit so you keep on losing weight. Even if you're not going to the gym to work out during that sick period, it's just, you got to do what you got to do. Let's just get ahead and get in there and get started, because the more I talk, the more I want to cough. Alright, so let's check out the legs. Little pump, nothing too crazy. Just, I'm really still weak. Like, I am really weak right now, guys. I really need to just, try to rest as much as I can for the rest of the night and just maybe even try to sleep for 10 hours. It's I'm just, really, really weak. But a little good lift, good little pump. They are pumped a little bit, actually. Not too freaking bad. Let's see how the upper body is looking like. So that's how we're looking in the upper body. Still just slowly getting that fat off. So it's coming along. Before you know it, we'll be where we want goal-wise. We'll be exactly where we want. But it's just gonna take some time. A little bit more time than what I kind of had planned. But I kind of looked back and looked at some of the older videos. I did say I might be cutting all the way into March. So I think I was right on that. But I kind of wanted to already be done with cutting and start heading towards the lean bulk. But it is what it is. You know, it's better to take it slow so that you don't lose like all your freaking muscle. Because you will lose a lot of muscle if you try to take it too fast. And then you just gotta put that muscle back on, which can be a little difficult. But nothing to it. Just another good day. Tomorrow will be what are we gonna do tomorrow? Chest. My left pec's feeling a little okay, so I don't feel like I majorly hurt it. I did kind of feel something in my right leg, but it's just, I'm just really weak. So I just really need to take it easy, take it slow, and just slowly get my strength back, slowly get my breathing back. I might have a collapsed left lung, like a partial, just the way that everything is. So it's just like, we just gotta take it easy and try to sleep as much as we can, try to rest as much as we can, and still just keep the diet on lockdown, like the calories and stuff. But I should probably take a refeed day probably soon as well, but I kind of want to wait until I get out of the 220s. But that's pretty much it. You just got to keep going hard, pushing hard. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Like, I used to weigh 350 pounds, no muscle, and I should be proud for where I am now. But it's kind of hard. Some of those days you do get hard on yourself, and you're like, I should be way further than where I am. But that's okay. We're on track, and that's what matters. Is we're taking it day by day, which then turns to good weeks, which then turns to good months, then which turns into good years. So that's gonna be it for today's easy leg day. I'm just gonna go eat food and then try to rest as much as I can. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for chest day.